he was complaining like anything about all the noise, and that he couldn't meditate as well because of the noise. And his father said to him, dear, what are you going to do when you reach the bardo? And I don't know if you know that term.
No.
But that term is when you leave the body. So in Tibetan teachings, there's a space. I mean, I think it's in yoga as well, but they're very well known for this term, between when you leave the body and you come to rest. And it's a very tricky space to navigate. So just to support you in terms of your inner voice, there's no need for it really. If people are meditating, it's good practice to do it when there's lots of chatter going on, especially laughter. It's about keeping your focus, right?
Yeah.
And your heart space open.
Can't get that avatar out of my mind. It's kind of like Freddy, you know.
Don't mention that avatar. Now you're just being mean.
It's like the avatar is coming for you. Lock up your children. I love that.
Who joined while I was talking?
That was Chi.
Oh,
good day, everyone.
Morning, Chi.
Good day.
Good afternoon, Chi.
I have a wonderful share. What I experienced yesterday.
Oh, go.
Yesterday, I paid Heinz a visit, and we practiced exploring awareness and all that. Yeah, it was nice. But on the way home, it was dark outside, and it was full moon, and the wind was howling, and then I listened to a replay of yesterday's call. Wow, that was really. I felt like I was there with you guys.
Wow.
Really, my man, this it was so authentic. You know, it was the conversation. You know, and then I can't thank Jesse enough to create this, because really this gives me an opportunity to be here and then practice awareness and be with you guys. You know, it's really wow, it felt really like I was by the fireside with you guys. So thank you for that. I didn't feel alone on the way home. I felt like I had company with you guys here. It was really nice feeling. Yeah. So thank you all.
Sounds like that feeling of belonging, hey, Chi.
We had so many hours together, and get to know each other. Really feel like
belonging and expansion.
And connection. I was kind of thinking. It's lovely. Thank you, Chi.
This means so much to me. Yeah, so much. I come here, practice my English, because it takes consistency to be able to get used to speak it, and with all the nuance and with all the so there's many layers of practicing for me here. Really grateful.
Being vulnerable and getting other people's perspective. So we can change our own perspective. It's way easier to see oneself when other people had seen one.
Mm. Mm. Just keep getting better and better here.
Yeah, that's because you're expanding.
Yeah.
I guess we all are expanding, eh?
Yeah, yeah. We see it when we've seen many breakthroughs here.
Yeah, that's
last couple of weeks been really filled with breakthrough upon breakthrough upon breakthrough.
nice. That's the gift of the Fireside Daily.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We gather, we break through, and we scatter.
Yeah. Scatter brighter and
Gather, breakthrough, scatter. Yeah.
The wobbling, giggling,
Breakthrough, scatter.
wobble, wiggle, and giggle.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's nice to have the opportunity to connect each day, each and every day. Because Jesse has created this wonderful place to be.
Wonderful, because you're here too, Chi.
Thank you.
Yeah, your connection and your contribution, how you show up it's a gift, and it's beautiful, and you're making a positive impact in my life.
You too. You all do.
We'll all get to be mirrors for each other.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like I also see why Jesse has been hosting this, because it's like, this is a beautiful experience, just being in your heart, and then you want to share it with people who are open to that possibility themselves.
Yep.
And explore
Yes,
it,
absolutely.
explore the heart. What's in the heart? What's in there?
Mhm.
There's so much in there. There's absolute infinity and unlimited abundance of possibilities.
Get to explore all the treasures. There's so much treasure within each and every one of us. So when we share our story,
Fireside, because that's where people traded their treasures, by trading their stories.
Mhm.
They were traded to inspire and create opportunities for others. So that's what we're doing here also. We become each other's permission slip to do better or do different. Because the ideas we share here wouldn't be very positively welcomed in society being shared.
Right. Any of you have a word for today?
Not yet.
My word will be funny. My first thought when I saw that avatar, what have I done wrong? What's happened? What's happened to the still picture? And then Jesse talked, and I saw him moving in clips, and I was finished. Oh.
Yeah, thank you for letting me share.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you for
sharing.
sharing.
Good morning, Pascal.
Morning, Heinz. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Yoga.
Morning.
Good morning, Pascal.
Morning,
Welcome,
Jay.
welcome. Welcome to the Fireside Daily.
Yeah, I've been already in the fire this morning. Oh, shit.
Welcome
I was
back to
like
the fire.
about, I don't know, maybe like 3 to 5 kilometers away from my house. And then I was like, shit, I forgot my lunch. I had to turn around. So, not a fun thing.
Damn it.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm going to make some time. I don't know how to
How do
make
you-
time, but yeah.
I was just about to ask you, how do you make time?
I'm working on it.
Take a cup of sugar, a dish of...
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't perfected that recipe yet, but it's in the making.
Did you see Jesse's avatar?
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Jesse, do you even wear like glasses and stuff?
No, I got corrective eye surgery.
Yeah, same
Oh,
here.
nice.
Same here. But my wife says like I look smarter with glasses.
That worked pretty good.
I look
Oh.
smart.
Is that a backhanded compliment?
Yeah.
She's being offensive towards
Yeah.
you.
So do I have to recorrect my eyes or something?
You can tell it. I like looking stupid.
Yeah.
Digress.
I know, eh? I know, we're not going forward apparently. Oh. Yeah, to answer your question, Will, it works amazingly for me. My
what's
eyesight
that?
actually got better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, surgery.
Cool.
It was painful as F word
Okay.
for me because like at the time they had like only, well, I don't know if they have like more option now, but they had LASIK and PRK, and because of my cornea was so thin, then they had to do PRK. So basically they scrape off your cornea and go with the laser. So I couldn't open my eyes for about 2.5 weeks, I would say. And I had to go see the doctor. Like I live in Banff back then, and I had to go see the doctor every 4 days. So I had someone to drive me, and then it was like during the summer, so I had like, eye mask, and then I had a pillow on top, and then my jacket, and yeah, walking in downtown Calgary, I was like blind, it was absolutely crazy, but at the end, it worked out very well. So, highly recommend it if you like. If you like the pain, but LASIK. But LASIK is like, the next day you can go back to work kind of thing, because they just cut like the cornea, and they go with the laser, and that's it. But the thing like with LASIK, if you play sport or say you're a boxer or something, like it can rip, right? And you got to do it again.
Oh yeah.
For mine is pretty much permanent. Yeah, I would say. So
That's cool.
What's your experience,
Sucks to be hacking
Jesse?
through that pain.
yeah, that's yeah. But I had a nice girlfriend at the time, and then she put the drops in my eyes and stuff, and I had some perk
nice.
there, so which is good.
Okay. Helped you, eh?
Yeah, I couldn't open my eyes, but I could still touch.
So you were doing the blind dating for a while with your girlfriend.
Yeah, well, when you're in Banff, that's what you do. There's nothing really permanent there. Because they're transient, right? Like they come for the summer or they come for the winter, and then they go back home, stuff like that, right? So for most of them.
Oh yeah. A lot of like out of country people
Yeah.
on work visas. Australia.
Yes. Yeah, like
other
everywhere.
countries. See that in a lot of parks like Jasper and Whistler, and all these places, tourist places.
Yeah. So I would say I visit the world, but I stay in my own bed.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I find when I'm in those places. Is I'm always asking, like, "Oh, where are you from?"
Yeah, it's
neat stories.
interesting, eh? But, yeah. And at the time, like learning English, and then you got these accents like from like New Zealand and Australia and like Ireland and Scotland, and you're like, what the hell is this, right? Like,
Yeah.
what language are they speaking, right? Yeah, you barely
English.
understand it. Yeah, it's even in my class right now, like I've got a guy like he's from Ireland. Man, it's hard to understand. Holy.
A thick, roguish accent.
Bogus accent, you said?
Roguish.
Oh,
B-R-O.
bogus.
Roguish. B-R-O-U-G-U-I-S.
Yeah.
H.
Yeah.
Roguish.
Yeah. Yeah. If that's how they spell English, yes, that's it. That's it.
Good morning.
That's what it sounds like.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mona. Hi, Pascal.
Morning, Jesse.
Morning, Mona.
Morning, Will. Morning, Jesse.
Yeah. And my favorite accent is in Canada, Pascal, is the Newfoundland accent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's it's got that kind of twangy Scottish descendant, Irish descendant sound to it. Eastern Seaboard with all the slang and people think that Canadians all say a boot because of that.
A boot.
Like Americans go, "Oh, a boot." Well, we don't talk like that on the West Coast, but
yeah.
But yeah, you can identify me as a Newfie because I love Newfies, man. I grew up with Newfie buddies, and that's what we call them, anyways. And then I've worked with a lot of Newfoundland characters, and they're so funny. Oh my goodness, they just got such personality. And in fact, one got this favorite TV show. It's called Alone. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but
yeah, I've seen that. Well, some of it. I mean, I didn't see every single episode, but
yeah, I'm a little obsessed with it. But not for me surviving, but just kind of watching people's journey watching them survive, and seeing different parts of Canada that I haven't been to. But the guy, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the latest season and you're not wanting to hear who wins, just plug your ears, because it was a newfie.
Oh, of all of them. Wow.
Yeah, he was quite the survivor, because he actually lives in Labrador.
Oh,
and
yeah.
His wife is like Inuit, or like traditional, like native woman descendant.
Mm.
And so they're used to the cold and living in that environment. It's just amazing how people who come from the south, they could be amazing survivalists down there, but then you take them up north and they start tapping out pretty quick.
Yeah, and it's
Anyways,
interesting. I've seen one episode. Like, this guy was like a master at fishing, and then he had food for the whole winter for sure, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he tap out, and I'm like, oh my God, really?
What are you doing?
Yeah, but yeah, it's really interesting, how the mental aspect comes into play. Right?
Yeah,
It's not just the physical play. It's really the mental game.
That's it. You got her. And isn't that a good metaphor for life? It really is all in the mind.
Yeah.
That's a great analog.
Oh, that looks more like you now.
Thanks, Pascal.
Sorry to interrupt,
hey,
but
gee.
it was just
got a collared shirt and everything.
3 avatars now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
funny.
awesome.
Oh, Allison, her word is funny. That's awesome. Anchored in compassion.
Oh, that was chi. Okay, that was chi. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is weird. Okay.
Looking pretty
I can't
dapper
really
with the collars.
look at it. I just see the image and I'm like, oh, this is Jesse. And then this is, I don't know. But yeah. Will, you just look like it, Yeah. Handsome little boy.
I gotta change my shirt, Chi. I like that. I like how you put that background there too. So
Yeah. just playing with it. I heard on yesterday's call when Will he explained how. So thank you, Will.
Yeah. Look, I was thinking about alone. That is a great example of the seeing, the being, and the doing in a very simple setting.
Right.
And it's like if you think about alone, it's like how much, what percentage are they being and versus the percentage of their doing.
Oh,
Now, yes, they go together, right? Like you're doing both. You're being both. But our awareness, we can observe, we can pull it apart and look at them from we can look at them as two different things.
Right.
How have you put on that avatar?
Mm.
And part of their being, right, is they can do, right? Let's say they catch a lot of fish, right? But if you look at a lot of the storyline, what happens is people in the being human separating from others breaks down.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Mentally, right? Mentally, there becomes an issue when we're separating from others.
Mm-hmm.
I think mentally we can separate ourselves from our own self.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Like our wounding, we do.
Yeah.
So we separate from our heart, really. Here, what I can say is that looking like I separate my head and my heart. They don't work together in harmony.
Yeah, just like conflict a lot of times.
And a conflict is only because of a condition, a perspective, something I've laid down that said it's got to be like this, and it's incoherent.
Yeah. It's like if you are projecting something, it's like you have internal eyes and then you have external eyes. So you have your inner world and your outer world. And when you're internalizing something, you generally tend to project it and externalize it, and it shows up. So it can be in conflict or it can choose what you want to create.
Yep.
And then it's like, as in here, so out there.
Yep.
Internalize and then we externalize. It's like we've got these inner eyes that we can vision something into external reality. Still get to take action, obviously. Like what's going to get me from point A to point B is actually doing something. But when I'm in tune with point B, then the action is a lot more intuitive when I'm still checking inside. Like, is this in alignment with that? Okay. To this action.
There's so many subtle layers to what we do, right?
Life.
And how we be.
Yeah.
And I think that's why awareness is so valuable.
Yes.
Something that I'm learning after decades of being in a million different directions is having too many irons in the fire. Rather, focus is really just having at one time choosing to have one iron in the fire.
You can also go with choosing a single, what I call an organizing principle.
Oh, please share, Allison. Thank you.
I'm not so sure that I know how to explain it. So
okay, well, if it comes to you, I am definitely open to hear it.
Well, I mean, a simple thing would be something like compassion, say. That was my words this morning, was anchored in compassion, I think I wrote.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you choose compassion, and that is your organizing principle,
Yes.
you can focus on you can focus on that and have different parts of you can focus on that and have your, as the saying goes, your fingers in different pies.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Your finger in
Yummy.
different eyes?
Pies.
Oh, wow.
Pies.
Okay. I was like,
That could
I've
be a
done that
tasty
before,
event.
but yeah.
Sorry, Mona, what did you say?
That could be a tasty event.
Exactly.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. That's what I thought. So go on, sorry.
Thank you, Allison.
Well, I think that it was just that I had to say on, on what Will was saying, is we can be involved in different things if our organizing principle is clear. Like, what do we want to be doing?
Yes.
What do we want to be being in our doing?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
And we have to be aware of, that there's much negativity, in the world outside and people, and that we have to be aware of that, and then to protect ourselves, our energy, because we can be affected by all this negativity. Just not judging them, just not allowing them to interfere with our energy.
Mm.
We have to have some steps. Not taking that in when they meet us with negativity. Just.
Or maybe it's even just any distraction, hey, Chi? Like, negativity is one of them, but there can be many other distractions.
Yeah. Right.
I think, I'm not 100% sure, but
because we can be affected by the negativity. Like when we walk into a room full of negative people, it affects us. It drains us. So we have to be aware of that, not allowing them to interfere with our inner alignment.
there are many things also that can be negative, right? That can get presented as positive.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, for me, I think it's, if I focus on watching out for negativity, then I limit myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I focus on what my organizing principle is, I don't have to worry too much, excepting to just make sure that I don't get distracted.
I see.
And I'm not, please don't think that I'm not saying that your method is not valuable. It's different for all of us, right?
Yeah. For me, it's just like, let people be who they are. Just don't allow them to interfere.
That's beautiful.
Sometimes that can be a difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it's very challenging.
I think it's challenging too, because if you have like an older parent that you're dealing with, and
Yeah.
it seems like the only conversation they have is about their level of pain and the drugs they take and this and that and the other, it can get really depressing. And I pick up negative energy when my dad starts talking about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to spend time with him. And I try really hard to let him just talk and not let the negativity attach itself to me. And I try to keep our visits really short because of that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good thing, Mona.
Have
That
you
you keep
one way
them
to
short.
say.
shifting his focus, helping him shift his focus away from the pain, the drugs, and everything, and talking about something he enjoys
Positive.
talking about?
That's what he enjoys talking about. He enjoys talking about going to the gym, and he will say or do something to aggravate somebody at the gym, and he enjoys that. It's like
Yep.
it's like he gets a hit off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's the generational trauma there. That's the pattern playing out.
And I've never met his dad except once. And when I did meet his dad, he was in a wheelchair and he had oxygen on him.
Mm.
And my dad tells me he's just like his father. And I'm like, yep, I can see where you are like your dad from what you say. I didn't have a personal experience around that. But if he says to me he's just like his dad, I can see exactly where generational stuff rolls down to. And my personality is a lot like my dad's, but I have developed a lot of self-awareness. And I really pay attention to me and what I do and what I say and how I say it.
Mm.
Not necessarily because I don't want to offend somebody, but I don't want to put somebody else in a negative mood.
That's
Hey, on that note, guys, I gotta go, and I
Hi,
made
Pascal.
it.
you made
You have a
it.
great day, Pascal.
I arrive at the same time as the teacher, so I'm not too bad, right?
Right.
All
Have
right,
fun,
guys.
Pascal.
Have a great day.
Have a
See ya.
great
Have a
day,
wonderful
Pascal.
day.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you all. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Yeah, it's funny, eh? Like the subject of negativity triggers different things for everyone, you know. And I really had that realization that it's, you know, someone may be actually really enjoying that, like you say, Mona, and then we have our own judgment of it, and then our focus actually shifts. We could be in a great mood, and then if we I don't know, myself, I guess all I can do is talk from my own experiences. If we take on our judgment of their experience or their words or their vibration, yes, it could definitely affect us and shift us. And there's something about parents too that have a real gift at putting us in a box and triggering us. And so I don't even know where I'm going with this, but just being aware of it is starting to take your power back.
I think you're right about that. I think your parents put you in a box and they know every button to push somehow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, because they trained you. They placed you in that box at a very young age, and they set up all these buttons and triggers, and and groomed kind of thing is how I view it. That's just my perspective. Like I was groomed to be my mom's therapist from a very young age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so was my sister. My sister's still stuck in that mentality and dynamic. And yeah, that's a judgment.
For a
But,
long time, I didn't talk to my dad because he didn't know that I knew some of the people he talked to. And through different conversations, I found out that he was talking crap on me. And he couldn't understand why we weren't getting along. But I didn't hold that against him. I tried to look way past that because there came a point in time when my sister was unavailable to help him out with certain things. And so I picked up the slack on that, and I helped him out with different things that he needed help with. I still do. But it's like I never told him that I knew he was talking crap on me.
maybe it's time, eh?
Well, I'm just going to let it go because I don't want to hear this defensive reasoning for why he did that.
Yeah.
Because
justification.
it's not going to fly with me. All I know is he did it.
Yeah.
And I just look past it and deal with the situation as it rolls in as much as possible. I used to tell him and my mom all the time that they were the only two that could get along with each other. And ever since she's been gone, he's never gotten another girlfriend. Because I don't think anybody could put up with him.
Sounds like you managed to keep your focus very well, Mona.
Thank you. I try really hard. And even the funny part about it is he's always looking for somebody to blame for something. He asked his doctor in this knee surgery to do a specific thing for him. And then when he did it, it didn't turn out the way he thought it would. Now it's all the doctor's fault when he actually signed off on the paperwork for it. Months later, the doctor screwed up. Well, the doctor did what you asked.
Yep.
But it's somehow the doctor's fault. It's not his fault. He doesn't take responsibility for making that choice. And he's good at blaming other people for things, and he never takes responsibility for himself. Ever.
That's the drama cycle. It's an infinite loop of drama.
So I just try to avoid those types of conversations, or when he starts talking about it, I try to switch it or limit that course of discussion.
Sounds like he's living most of his life from the outside in.
He is.
Yep. Well,
because he's not good at doing internal work. But I will say this, since I started the program, he's made a huge effort to do internal work. He's not good at it, but he's made a big effort to change certain things about him.
Wow.
Of course, my sister would take all the credit for that.
That's what he can't take any credit. Him doing the work. Every work we do from the inside out comes down to the person.
Yeah.
No one can take credit for your work. They may guide you, but it's still you doing the work.
I did like 3 recodes on him.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a breakthrough.
And when I first started working with the recode, I introduced it to him and I worked with him on it. And I think that at least those 3 recodes did something to him in a way that he was able to start kind of looking at his own stuff.
Yes.
He's just got a lot more to go.
It's like us all, eh?
Yep.
But, that's
Rome.
a really powerful gift that you gave him, Mona, and just the simple fact that he was willing to, have a go is massive. Because I used to have a very, a similar strained relationship with my father, and he was like that as well. And I estranged myself for 4 years, and then last summer I reconnected with him, and I told him, it's because of this work that I've been doing, this inner work, and it's helped me so much. And I was hoping that someday I could introduce him to it, but he just was not open to it. So the fact that your father was open to it, that's a profound gift. I just want to acknowledge that. What a beautiful gift you gave him.
Thank you. I also introduced him to the books that Chris introduced us to, so that he would have time when he decided he was ready to look at the books.
Yeah.
And I can tell by some of the shifts he's made that he's actually looked at the information.
Wow. Lucky.
It was a tough go though, because when I did the third recode, it was so funny because I do mine closed eye like he does. When I came to the end of the recode and I opened my eyes the last time, he was sitting there and I could see that there was another part of his personality that had taken over, and it did not like the recode.
Yep. Oh yeah. And how old was that part? It's probably like 2 or 3 or something like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's probably a toddler.
But it was an interesting experience, and that was the last one I did with him. And I did it in person. I didn't do it on Zoom or over the phone either. So I think it was more powerful that way.
His dad spent 60, 70 years building up his personality. Of course, it's going to take a long time to sort of tear it down bit by bit, the parts he doesn't need. But he's doing the work. That's the best he can do. Yeah.
So I feel like in my part of breaking family trauma, which was a choice that I made to stop some of the cycle. If I changed, then I knew that other people around me would change, and he has changed a lot. He don't talk crap on me no more, which is nice of him. And he found out that I had a limit, and he's decided that he doesn't want to come close to that limit, or I just won't have anything to do with him. So he's really shifted.
Good work, Mona, because people talk about boundaries, and really what it is we're teaching people what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So that's beautiful that you're able to establish that, I'll accept this behavior and I won't accept this, or I won't accept that kind of treatment. That period.
And my dad doesn't know anything about boundaries.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. 2 toddlers?
No.
Exactly. It sounds like you have shifted the dynamic quite significantly compared to where it used to be. And because you have done this work, and because you're shifting yourself, you're achieving higher levels of awareness that's affecting your relationships. And some people aren't going to like it, but hey, it's a gift ultimately. And it's not that you're better than or anything like that. It's not that anyone is better than anyone. It's just that we're accessing greater levels of awareness that we didn't realize we could before. It's empowering.
I appreciate you letting me come in and talk about this and listening to your viewpoints on different things that are happening, but I have to go because I have to go to
Okay.
work.
Oh, thank
You
you
have a
so much
great
for
day.
being here, Mona,
Yeah.
and for having the courage to share.
Thank you
Yeah.
for letting me.
Bye, Mona. Lots of
Bye,
love.
Mona.
Take care, Mona.
See you next time.
Lots of love to y'all. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye, hun.
I'm also headed off, guys. Thank you so much for my start to the day. Have a great
Okay.
day.
Have a
Bye,
great
Allison.
day, Allison.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Allison.
Boom. Back to the boys, eh?
The boys are back in town.
Back in town. Always a song, eh? It's always a song.
Yeah. Mm.
It's funny, you know, I'm grateful for the 4-year break I had from basic, more or less my family, but mostly my father, just having that break to receive clarity and do a lot of processing on wounding and trauma and inner conflicts. And then it all came down to like doing all the recoding and inner work really came down to letting go of the past. And then I was able to finally reconnect. And, you know, obviously it still wasn't easy, but I was able to hold that realization for the rest of the time that I had with his remaining days. And so I'm grateful that I was able to reconnect with him before he passed. And I realize how much I'm actually grateful for it all now, because he was my teacher. He helped me to realize what he helped me to realize my own messed up viewpoints of things and how much I was holding on to the past. And it's funny how the people that are closest to us can be the greatest teachers if we're coachable
Right.
and teachable, willing to receive the learnings.
I'm so grateful for you sharing your story. That's a story about growth right there.
Yeah. Thank you, Chi.
So good to hear.
Yeah. It's just like,
Not stuck anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the human experience is hard, man. It's
Yeah, when we
painful.
get stuck in the past, our mind cannot be two places at the same time. So when we constantly is in the past, how can we be present?
Yes.
So it's about releasing the pain and all that shit,
The tougher the
Breathe,
human experience is, just means the stronger a soul there is within it, because we were built to take the amount of pain that we can take.
Yeah.
Look at people
All-
saying they
all-
are going easy through life. Well, that's probably all they could handle.
all the addictions, is a cover for something that happened in the past.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
if you can't let go of the past, you can't let go of the addiction. And yeah, when it takes awareness and it takes choices. And you done it, yeah. Good example of how to move on, how to get past that hurdle. Yeah. I love to share. Yeah.
Thanks, Chi. What's our words of the day today?
My word is still funny.
Funny.
Yeah. Mine's joy.
Mine is creativity.
And the thing that Allison said, it's not a word, but take one of those words and put into your center. If you base everything off me being funny, well, then it's something that means to be fun. I can have fun doing the dishes.
Yes.
Which means not as much work when you're actually embracing your heart. Being creative, yeah, you can do that in lots of stuff. You can be creative when you're painting, but you can be creative when you're driving your car even. But I wouldn't advise it. Be creative when you're driving the car.
Well, I do that sometimes because there's one main highway that links where I work in a different city to where I live. And it's the Trans-Canada Highway, it's called. And it's actually featured on a TV show here in Canada on Discovery Channel. And it's called Highway Through Hell. And I'm not kidding. That's the name of the TV show. So there's a lot of crashes on it and stuff because it's just a really heavily clogged, congested highway. And you got your haulers and you got your crawlers. So you got people that are just flying. And you got your people that are doing well under the speed limit. So it just becomes this chaotic mess. And it's dangerous, right? So anytime that I can take back routes to get home, I get creative. Especially if it's a parking lot. I'll just take back routes, even if it takes longer to get home, because it's just nice to do something different instead of just taking the same old, just grinding away on those old narrow pathways over and over and over again. Like, let's do something different.
That was why we went driving earlier. It was to experience something. It was not just to get on the highway and there's just concrete on both sides. That's all you see.
Yeah.
Instead of just driving off and you can see nature everywhere.
Yes. We used to drive for enjoyment.
Yeah, that's what they tell you in cars also. You went for a trip with the family. It was something to enjoy on Route 66. It was not just, to get there on time or even get there before time, even better now.
Yeah. So it used to be about enjoying the journey.
Yeah. Now it's about point A and point B. That's all that matters.
Wow. There you go. Holy smokes, that's profound, Heinz.
And it's not about the goal. It's about the journey.
Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey.
That's where you're going to find all the experience. You won't find any experience at the goal. You'll find the experience on the journey. That's the fun about taking the trip.
Enjoy the experience. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Making a note of that. I've really started journaling finally. I've gotten back to that because I used to journal. And what I found was the things that I wrote down came true. And then I stopped journaling for like years and years and years. And so now I'm getting back to it. I'm starting to write down my goals and my intentions and reflections. Like I used to write letters to myself and I said, congratulations, you accomplished this or that or whatever. And when I look back, like I even wrote an email from someone I viewed as a mentor years ago, wrote an email to myself. And I've kept the email in a folder. It wasn't from him technically, but it was written as if it was from him. And I look at the email now and I'm like, wow, I've accomplished all that. Okay. I better do this more. So part of the experience, part of the journey.
Encouraging yourself.
Yeah. It's like, what do you want? Write it down. What do you want? Write it down. What do you want? I had to write that stuff down.
Stuff. You were about to say a different word. And then you changed your mind. I could hear.
Yeah, I was.
Down.
I'm editing. I'm. What's the word?
Creative editing.
What's that called when you edit yourself? Censor.
Censorship?
Yeah. I censored myself. Yeah. If it wasn't live, I may not censor as much.
Well, it's not. I don't feel that it's censoring. I actually feel we're getting more known how much words actually have influence. So changing the words sort of change our own attitude towards everything.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to
So
shift your word choice mid-sentence.
Yep. Because the other word is sort of negative compared to stuff.
Yeah, because it describes brown stuff.
Yeah, it describes end result.
Yeah, like that's kind of the end result of everything.
Yeah,
it goes back into the earth. Everybody poops. You're embracing the giggles today, Heinz. I love it.
I told you my word for the day is funny, and I find everything is a little bit funnier. And every time I look at the phone, I start laughing at those three pictures, waving from side to side. Ah. Funny, I don't know how to put a picture up there.
Oh, I think that's in meeting settings. And you just click on the avatar option.
Meeting settings.
Yeah, if you're on a device, just at the bottom, there's a bunch of icons. If you scroll all the way to the right, there's a little 3-dot button menu. It says more. Yeah, you click on that, and then it should have an avatar option there.
Meeting settings. Show your name.
And
nope. No.
And you may have, if you have an older device or an older operating system, it may not be available.
Always show meeting controls. Meeting topic, Fireside. Show name when participate. When
what device are you on, Heinz?
My phone.
What type of phone is it?
Huawei.
Huawei. Okay. Yeah. Does it have augmented reality on it?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it probably doesn't, and that's probably why you don't have that option available.
Oh.
That's all. No big deal. Just a different phone.
Yeah.
That's how they get you to that's how they force you to upgrade, because you want more features. So okay, I'll spend $2,000 on a phone if it gives me this feature.
I wouldn't even spend 2,000 Danish on a phone. So
yeah. Welcome to Canada, where everything costs. You have to give your firstborn child to pay for something. Anyways, starting to complain. At least I caught it.
Complaining is good. It's good because it just shows you have it way too good. If you have time for complaining, you have it way too good.
First world problems.
Yep.
I got too much food. I've got more than enough of everything that I need and so I got to have something to complain about because I've got more than enough. We've got total abundance in our part of the world, in this country. So I must complain.
Yeah, because there's always someone in your country that has more than you.
Yeah. Because,
What
that's
we
the
need,
other thing, is the complaining keeps me stuck on what I don't want.
Yeah.
So rather than being grateful, if I was grateful, then I guess I wouldn't be complaining.
what we really need is inner peace, more than material thing.
Because when I feel a certain way, like if I feel empty or in conflict, I act out by eating more food, or by buying a new course, because my brain believes that it's all messed up. So, oh well, I need a new course to be able to do this. Or I could just go do it.
Yep.
So
I wrote
it
number
process.
two.
Yeah,
You're not
Just
messed
do
up.
it.
You're not messed up, Will.
Yeah, I know.
Not at all. Not at all.
Well, yes and no. It's belief that I messed up. But
Someone who told
I'm learning
told
to.
us, if you're acting this way, you messed up.
Yeah, I'm learning
It's
to
not your
connect with
belief.
who I really am now. So,
Yep.
which the true self is not messed up.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm just going to mute for a minute.
We gotta be messed up according to society if we're actually gonna do something good for ourselves. If we ask people on top about this call, they would say, "Oh my God, you wasted 1.5 hours just sitting talking and being silent. Are you crazy?" What we see as gaining, other people see as mistakes. Like they say, one man's dream is another man's nightmare.
My word for this morning is power.
Nice.
And it was Chi, when you were speaking, it was like power versus force. That was just how I was thinking about it. Like, it was power versus force. And like, I don't like Will. I think Will shared it earlier. Was like it is the frequency of the words, and it was at the bottom was like force. At the top was power. I don't remember what the bottom was, but it's like hopelessness, and at the top is enlightenment.
That's it. And at the bottom is it's a very heavy. It's like you're stuck in mud. It's like a very heavy stuck energy, and it becomes hard to crawl out of it. So sometimes, people will throw us a rope, but they can't get. Sometimes people will get in there in the mud with you, but then you're both stuck. So if the person is enlightened enough, they will throw you a rope, and they will offer you a rope. But it's up to you or me to grab hold of that and pull ourselves out of the mud, so to speak. And so, it's going to take some force to get out of that, but eventually, if you can climb out of that hole, so to speak, then you reach affirmation and neutrality. Once you get to neutrality, then you can start to access higher states, higher ways of being, higher energies. And it's not that lower energies are bad. They're not bad. High and low, it's not good, bad. It's just different states. It's just different energies. And there's actually an unspoken gift in the suffering, in the humiliation, in the blame and the shame and the guilt. Because if you can survive that, there's a breakthrough there. And I'm complete.
It's like when people are using force against you, they want to take your power.
Yeah, it's because they're in the mud wrestling. They're wrestling in the mud, like, little piggies. They like wrestling in the mud. So if you crawl in the mud with them, they enjoy it.
And so if you think about your day, how much of it is on just automatic, on autopilot? Like that's like first thing to be like aware of. And then what I'll go to is like, okay, well, whoa, where's that? If it's like 95, 99%, right? Then whoa. And here as a society, we're trying to improve the 1%. And the 1% is what we can put our focus on. So when we focus on something, right, we put our attention. Will, you said my iron in the fire, right?
Yes.
It's like we're focusing it all onto one thing. That's our thinking mind. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. But just think how much energy it takes to keep aware of that one thing. And better yet, how long are you able to do it? You want to try? Because we can all accomplish it within the next 60 seconds.
Yeah, but when you've been aware of something for a month, then it sort of transfers into becoming the automatic.
Bingo, Heinz. Bingo. So it's not the upfront focusing on it. What we're really trying to do is modify that 99%.
Yeah.
Because look, if you change that 1%, right, of the 1%, that's a big shift, right? That's a big change. And if you move just 1% of the 99, that is a massive change. And so here's another like scientists have studied this, right? And I don't know the numbers, but I'm just going to use them for simplicity. They're big numbers. The separation's huge. In such a correlation that's probably how much we are able to put our thinking mind onto. And Will, I think you're the most recent one to share it. But it's like 40 versus 40 million.
400 billion bits of information at any given time.
40 billion. 40 to 400 billion.
We have something. We have awareness of like what
2,000 to 4,000 bits.
Like 4,000 bits in self-conscious awareness, but superconscious awareness is like 400 billion bits of information.
400 billion versus 4,000.
Yeah, something like that.
So I would cut off three zeros, and I would say 4 to 400 million.
400 billion, actually.
Billion. There you go. 4 billion.
Because it's an information field, right?
Yeah, right. Information field. And so that's the comparison that I'm working with, right? It's like, it's like, so it's not about changing our focus. Well, it is. Uh, but not in the way that we're attached to it, right? So we think we need to do our focus a certain way, whatever. But the point of it is what we're doing here is not changing our focus, is we're changing the internals. We're changing that background, that automatic background. We're changing those firings. We're changing those perceptions so that the automatics are changing. So exactly what you said, Heinz, it's like we're focusing on modifying those automatics.
Yes.
Which is our being. That's what I call our being. So like on this chart from hopeless to enlightenment, right? It's like we move higher in these frequencies as we open ourselves up to the experience of life.
Yes. Get into the flow of life rather than fighting it.
Yeah.
Forcing it.
Then so that to me is the definition of power versus force. And society has a strange relationship to the word power.
Yeah.
So it's like some people, right, want to put it on and dominate with it, and other people want to avoid it. Neither one of those allow for a neutrality review of my definition of power, of how I relate to it, which is all in the automatic background. That is what's happening in the background, is what's already there.
Yes.
And it's so obvious because it's already there. We're so used to it because we live with it all the time. We're not even aware it's there. Same thing is most people aren't even aware that they have self-talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Self-talk. And it's like, whoa, like the bare minimum here is like, well, what do you mean self-talk? Well, that voice that's talking in your head in the silence. Ready?
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
So in order to change our condition, it all starts with the words and the thoughts that we're choosing, because words become feelings, and feelings become action. Action becomes habits become automatic. And
yes. Beautiful process. It's like, yes, that is the mechanism of being human.
Yeah. Yeah. And words are the mechanism of reflecting what's that inner voice.
It reflect our choices.
They become the catalyst. Right? It's like, oh, there's the ignition, right? There's the catalyst. It's like, oh, it is to the feeling, but it's like, oh, like I made that feeling up before I really knew. It was like the first time we went through it, like we go through it through a meditative state, right? Like a absorbing, like a sponge state. And now then we spend the rest of our life figuring it out.
Yeah.
And figuring out what did we attach to and why. Oh, because there is no memory. There is a memory, but there's no memory.
Yeah. I'm amnesic.
Yeah.
Because it was the only way you saw it, right? It was it's everything that you can imagine it could be. It's like we weren't looking at the edges, we were exploring them without even knowing it. And it's when we connect into that state of in no sense as a child, wonder, curiosity as a child, right? That
Wow.
innocence as a child. It's like, oh, we connect back into the space that we were as a child.
Wow. Yes.
That's why I think one of the most important foundational works to do is the inner self work. Now, there's processes. Chi, you're familiar with it. Many of us are familiar with it. But what it is, it's connecting that adult with the inner child. Oh, there's so, like, we left that inner child behind at some traumatic point. We need to go back and find them.
Yeah, Jesse, you got it, huh? So cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's breakthrough, right? Like, who wouldn't want to have breakthroughs?
Well, some don't.
Right?
Yeah, we'll have to go back and heal the wounds of the inner child.
Yeah. And the only way to heal them is to see them.
Yeah.
I mean, that Will, you spoke about it earlier. It's like when we are aware, there it is. It's playing out. I see it again.
Yes.
What does it want? Like, even in the pain and the suffering, want something.
Yeah. Yes. Because it's like this. Yeah, the child wants something, and so when you act out on that desire, what does it give you? You know, what is it actually doing inside of you when you act out on it? Like, I used to be an alcoholic, and I would drink to try to suppress the inner suffering that I was experiencing rather than experience it. And I just pushed it down and I resisted it. And so once I quit drinking, I came up with other creative ways of avoiding and suppressing. So
other addictions,
and I still like, even like spending money now, like I'm realizing, man, that's been an addiction, and it's creating a big, massive hole that I now get to climb out of. It's an opportunity for expansion and greater awareness.
It is. I mean, it's that unconscious automatic that is always working.
Yes.
It keeps your heart beating, it keeps you breathing, it keeps you moving, right? And it keeps you alive. And it's like, oh, rarely do we give it much attention.
Yeah, when it comes from fear and lack and limitation, the reaction is always try to survive, not to thrive. That was my automatics. It was to survive, try to survive. Fight or flight.
Yeah. And yeah.
When things come to thriving, we have to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, because we're not only the physical, we're not only our body. Yeah, that's what I love about your session. Yeah, my sessions with you. We went back and then meeting, connecting with the inner child, my younger version of myself. That helped me really release a lot of pain and suffering and fear. And
it does. Yep. It's the bridge to the full array of emotions.
Yes.
Yeah. What happens? It's like I don't think emotions know time. They know they charges fill space, but there is no time.
Right.
And so it's like energy. Then if there's no time in the energy, then it's like it'll still be there. And it's like our purpose in life is to like let that go. It's like not to be attached to it. And so if our emotions get, like, what we tend to do is they get stuck and barricaded, so they're trapped, right? So like those emotions can't move forward past that from our perspective. And it's like taking our power back to say, it's like, oh no, they're there. It's just our trauma, for the mostly it's our trauma, right? Our trauma stopped it. And through the shame and the guilt is where we find what we want anyway, because we were going for what we want. We just learned what didn't work along the way.
Yep.
Because it's what we're doing now, right? It's like finding this, like unwrapping the urge that's there.
Unwrapping the urge.
Caring.
What urge is that?
Passion, purpose.
Okay. Like true nature and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're in your heart and you're living from that space, then you're living your purpose, really. And you're being your heart, when you're bringing your heart into the world, then your purpose, or no, true nature. Oh no, that's your true nature. And your purpose is how you choose to bring that passion to the world. Some people might say it's like your destiny, but it's really what you get to make it up. You get to make up what your purpose is for being here. And when you find it, you'll realize that this is who you really were from conception, childhood forward.
Yeah.
That's why I realized that's why I draw so many hearts now, because when I was a little boy, I drew hearts. And there's just something about the heart that fascinates me, because it's who we really are. And in our heart, that's who we really are. We're not all these constructs that we create in our mind, this ego that we build. I'm not perfect. I'm not capable. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy, blah, blah, blah. No, those are just constructs.
It's programmed from other people. As a child, when children are so misunderstood, when grown-ups ask a child, what do you want to be? When you say, I want to be happy, no, you can't be that. I want to be an astronaut. No, you can't be that. I want to be an artist, a musician. No, you can't be that. We used to get told, what we can be or not.
And there's those that believe other people.
Yeah,
and there's
those. It's old beliefs, that doesn't serve us anymore, but still we carry them around. Or most of the people do, yeah. We're not doing here, but we're practicing awareness. So we see that, we know that. nothing but old programs. No, it needs to upgrade. And I believe that that's what we're doing here. We're upgrading the old belief, old patterns.
Yeah, the message I just received within, as you're talking, Chi, was, and Jesse's an excellent example of this. The message I received was be still and be quiet, because that's when the messages from our true self come.
Yes.
And if I'm constantly making noise, I'm not able to hear it.
Like what you told yesterday about the quiet retreatment, or what is quiet retreat, or what do you call it? That it took you 3 days to calm your mind, to your thoughts, right?
Yeah, it was the abundant living retreat I went to in 2012.
Yeah.
I went again in
It
2014.
So you, as you explained there, it's so perfectly. It takes time to quiet the ego. This constantly yak my voice in your head.
Yes.
So yeah, stillness, quietness, it helps us to reconnect. That's when we surrender to our higher self. Surrender to our true self. Yeah. That's when we're quiet.
Yeah. Detached from ego.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just be here now.
Yeah.
And then ask a powerful question. And notice what shows up. And we all receive answers. And I keep receiving, build a heart-centered creators community. And just see where it takes you, and just create. Just get into the flow of creating that. And that's what I keep receiving from my superconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, then I sit here and I realize, well, I've already done that actually, technically. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little online chat with a bunch of people in there that are like-minded and who are open to exploring this. And Jesse has created a beautiful, safe space for us to enjoy and to connect with our superconscious and to hear other people's experience. We get to be very reflective and share what that internal voice is, share the chatter, as well as share the insights and the wisdom. And it's like, I understand now why Jesse didn't want to do this alone, but he wanted to share this experience with others, because it's beautiful and it's profound and it's simple. And a lot of people will judge it and they miss it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's like when you're sitting by the fireside by yourself, it's not quite the same as when you're a group with like-minded.
Yes.
That's when it skyrockets, when you're when you can reflect in each other.
Yeah. So when do people gather? Like before we had electricity, when would people gather and have fireside chats? Like
Yes.
in the evening.
Yeah.
Yes. When it's dark outside. Yeah.
Exactly. You got her. And so when we feel like we're in the darkness, we come to the fireside to be enlightened, to receive light, and to give our light. And we actually are the fire. We are the flame. So when we show up here in our heart, we actually, it's actually our hearts are burning within us and they want to share. And we're just putting words to what our heart wants.
Yep.
So you're the fire. I'm the fire. We are Fireside. I'm just being silly, but that just came out.
Yeah, the fire represents many things.
Yeah, and we can
Cook by
carry
the
that
fire.
torch.
Yeah.
You know, like we scatter, but we get to bring that flame with us now into our day, and maybe that flame will ignite a spark in someone else just by us being there with them, being present. And we give that gift of the flame, and they realize, ooh, there's something inside me that is burning and wants to come out. And we become the torchbearers.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like there's a shift, you know, in the energy within the group as soon as we change the name, as Jesse changed the name.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like something happened there, you know, something magical.
Yeah, because genius intel, yes. And, you know, that could have certain connotations or definitions based on the wordage. Like intelligence level, which is very intellectually oriented.
Yes, more connected to the brain. But this with the fireside is more. It's switched to the heart.
Yes.
More heart based. Yeah. More heart based conversation. That's what I felt. Yeah.
That's absolutely it, G. You got it. I'm gonna drop an emoji here if I can find it. Oh no, maybe it's not in here. A bummer. Anyways, it's like a flaming heart. It's like a heart on fire.
Okay,
I guess it's not available in this, unfortunately. I'll see if I can drop it in the chat. It's flame. Yeah. Oh, there it is. I found it. It's like a heart on fire, eh? There was there's even a scripture in the Bible where, you know, Jesus appeared to the disciples after his resurrection. And then burning, he would open up scriptures.
Can you repeat that?
Like
because
where,
your sound went off. Like
oh, sorry. Where Jesus appeared to his disciples, and after he, you know, he helped enlighten them, open up their minds and hearts to the scriptures. And after he disappeared, they realized it was him. And they said something like,
Can you hear me
our
now?
heart and wisdom.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, am I cutting out?
Yeah,
Yes.
because your sound it went off in a crazy tone. It sound
Robotic.
robotic, metallic.
Oh, okay. I just took my AirPods off. Maybe that's it. Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much better now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I may not repeat that a third time.
Jesus went to his disciples to.
Yeah. Well, and the main point from that passage was that his disciples, after Jesus disappeared, his disciples said, "Weren't our hearts burning?" While he was like opening up the scriptures to us. And so it's like Jesus was igniting that internal flame of wisdom that we all have access to, you know? And there's just so much knowledge and wisdom available if our hearts are open to receive it. It's kind of the point there, right? Like the principle.
Right.
Yeah, the wisdom, receiving the wisdom, like that's that to me, like that's my experience is that's what I'm really going for now. You know, accessing the wisdom of, you know, superconscious higher self, connecting to the God mind, well, like however you want to label it, you can label it. Everyone will have a different label, but ultimately we're all, well, the intention is to connect with infinite intelligence and receive the gifts that are there because we all have access to that.
Yes.
And my challenge is not being all in my head. Jesse's so good at being in his heart. He's just like, oh, this is amazing. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. This is will, blah, 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 blah.
You have to.
And there's my own judgment, right?
Surrender to our higher self, you know, and then trusting that there's something, you know, much bigger than us that had always been here, you know. It's
yeah.
Our life is so short, you know. It always continue. It has been here before us, and when we're gone, and
there's like not to get too biblical here, but there's actually a verse in the Bible where the prophet Job talks about like he's talking about God, and he's saying, you know, you saw even the embryo of me. You saw me in the very beginnings of my body being formed. And it was all written down, like it was all in writing. And to me, that's our DNA coding, you know?
Yeah.
God saw it, God knows it. He knew exactly how to grow our body, or we knew how to grow our body, like however you want to frame it. He knew exactly how to grow our body based on that coding. Like my self-conscious ego would not be able to do that. That's just way too complex. I can't even wrap my head or understand how to grow my body out of DNA. You know, scientists have kind of reverse engineered it to a certain extent. So yeah, it just blows my mind every day reflecting on the wonders of creation.
I love that. That was good.
Yeah. I'm just grateful that you guys create the space where I can just share this stuff that's like it's been just inside me for so many years, and you know, people aren't always willing to hear these types of things, so it just kind of stays locked away.
Yeah. People are afraid of all sort of stuff, you know, being on stage, you know, being afraid of what people will judge, but as soon as we could rid of all this fear, you know, fear of judgment, fear of being on stage and all that, it liberates us.
Yes.
Mm.
Because especially when we're giving the gift of who we are.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we all have a gift.
Because
We all
everyone.
have, yeah, I feel you. Do you really? You have your special gift, Will. And wow. And then all we need is to share our story. We can learn so much from each other.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's like my ancestry, with the First Nations ancestry on my mom's side. That was just normal. Before the French came to. Sorry.
Yeah, storytelling.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how they kept their culture going, even though I'm not a part of that culture. That's how they kept their traditions going and their culture going, because they tell stories through song and dance, and it's beautiful.
It wasn't written down yet. It was the song and dancing and storytelling.
Yeah.
That's how the tradition was kept alive for thousands of years.
Yeah. Until the Europeans came and tried to destroy it all. They tried to force everything, force their own.
Yeah, but it's yeah, but it's not all the European blame. It's
oh, of course not. No, I'm not.
It was
I'm not meaning
like
to blame or anything like that. It's just what happened. It's just whatever.
It was designed like that, by somebody.
Yeah, someone rolled their agenda out, and everyone just kind of went along with it.
It wasn't for the benefit of the common man. It's only for some higher class families. They were the ones who benefit. Materialistic from that. Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's in the name of God, unfortunately, which gives God a bad name, right?
Exactly. They corrupt it all, because God never told people to do that.
No, of course not. That's their own agenda. That's human. That's self-conscious, egoic, unconscious agenda, victim mode. Yeah. And like
those families, they didn't care whether they killed millions of people.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's in the name of God.
Yeah.
Allah Akbar.
No, but luckily, all the stories from the indigenous, they're coming back, and they're picking up their tradition and doing the dance and the powwow and all that.
Yeah, it's nice that the freedom is being a little more opened up, and freedom of expression. And that's just a basic human need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The truth is coming out. It's been hidden for a while.
Exactly. And the truth always comes out. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But not everyone is always available to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing conversation, everyone. Chi, thank you. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Is it time to scatter?
Yeah. Thank you, guys. You all. Great call. Thanks.
Thank you. You all have a blessed day.
Great day, guys. Yes. Scatter your word throughout the day.
Yes. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much for the space.
Thank you. Thanks for making it.